Can I? Oh, it's on. Can I have my music started, please? All right. Time. Hi, judges. The heart of this presentation is not about a new coffee varieties or a new processing technique. There will be no groundbreaking coffee preparation method. Instead, this presentation is all about a coffee that is from Ethiopia, a geisha variety grown at Meiji region, the far western part of Ethiopia. The reason why I chose this coffee for you today is because this coffee gives me a balance and complexity that I love. But I also chose this coffee because of the story behind it. When I first met Rachel and Adam Overton, the producer of this coffee, their passion in producing the best coffee had led them to a journey to trace back geisha to its roots. And in 2011, they began to develop a 500-hectare coffee farm in Geisha of Ethiopia, the location where the variety geisha was originally being discovered in the 1930s. Although Geisha Village is a relatively young farm, it's already showing loads of potential. And to me, their passion in producing the best coffee resonates my passion of being the best barista. Now, as a coffee professional, I spend a lot of time experimenting with different roasting techniques, brewing method, and then tasting the results. And this experience has enabled me to engage conversation with customers to describe the flavor of a coffee and also to explain along the way why the coffee tastes like the way it does. And that is what we are going to do today. But first, the aroma of this coffee is floral. From the vast genetic diversity within the Gori Geisha forest, Adam and Rachel selectively picked a variety called Geisha 1931 because its cup profile highly resembles that of a Panamanian geisha. When you cup this coffee, you will immediately detect that sweet floral aroma as soon as the hot water hit the ground coffee. And for me, I want to maintain that floral aroma into the espresso. And for that, when we roast this coffee, we need to roast it fairly light. The end temperature of this roast is only 8 Fahrenheit, above the first crack temperature. Because I found that at this end temperature, I can accentuate that floral aroma I really love about this coffee into the espresso. The flavor of this coffee is sweet and tropical fruit-like. Because after picking, the seed has such an opportunity to sit inside the mucilage for a further 3 weeks, drying under shade, and with the cherries constantly being turned to keep the fermentation in control. And it is this extended contact time allowed the seed to take on that tropical fruit flavor and sweetness from the fruit. And it is also this potential sweetness I got from the green coffee allow us to work on the roasting. When we roast this coffee, we start the roast at a rate of rise of 20 Fahrenheit per 30 seconds. And by the time it hits first crack, that rate of rise goes down to 5. And it's going slow enough for me to develop this coffee for a further 2 minutes to develop all that tropical fruit flavor and sweetness from the coffee. All right, the acidity of this coffee is complex with tropical and citrus acidity. You see, acidity of a coffee is all about its microclimate and terroir. This farm is sitting at 19 to 2100 meters above sea level. And at 1900 meters, there is a cool night temperature of just around 9 degrees Celsius and mid-20s during the day. It is such temperature difference at this elevation create that potential for complex acidity. And for me, today, I'm brewing this coffee at 93 degrees Celsius because I found that at this temperature, I can accentuate that complex acidity while also bringing out the fruity sweetness of this coffee. The tactile of this coffee is silky, elegant, medium weight, with a crisp, clean finish. That tactile at the farm level come from the extended contact time between the seed and the fruit. That tactile also came from the perfect alignment of the decreasing rate of rise during roasting. But today, that tactile come from the perfect flow rate during extraction. I'm using a recipe of 20 grams in and 45 grams out for your espresso with a flow rate of 3 grams per second. This slightly faster flow rate allowed me to highlight that silky texture while also maintaining that floral aroma, complex citrus and tropical fruit acidity, the sweetness and the silky body. And for me, that's a different flavor for every sip. Now, judges, the first course I will be bringing you the espresso. And I would like you to now please take a few notes about the tasting. From your first sip, I would like you to look for aroma of candied mango. And then followed by an orange blossom honey with flavor of mango for your first sip. And then for your second sip, I would like you to look for passion fruit, white grape. And from your third sip, I would like you to look for a crisp white wine finish. This espresso is a medium body espresso with a silky texture and a sweet clean finish. And I think you will love it. Please enjoy. Please enjoy.
Using a beautiful Ethiopia for all the courses.
Big round of applause for Kapo's Espresso!
He's focusing on the terroir of this coffee, so it's grown very high, so very dense kind of coffee there.
This is interesting because he's been talking 7 minutes and 45 seconds non-stop, but giving a very, very deep information in terms of what kind of coffee he used. And he even started off saying, I'm not doing any crazy things, but I'm going to talk about extractions and roasting and farming, and he nailed all the points.
Yeah, he talked tons and tons about that stuff. He's doing kind of what would be considered an unconventional presentation today as well. He's doing all of his grinding up front, he's doing all of his extractions while he's talking in the first 8 minutes or so, and then he's just kind of building the drinks as he continues to talk.
All right, for your milk beverage today, I'm using 4 parts of milk to 1 part of espresso. And I would like you to look for vanilla, passion fruit, and caramel, which reminds me of a passion fruit creme brulee. Now, when it comes to specialty coffee, please enjoy. A perfect cappuccino is much more than a sweet, creamy milk drink. For a starter, please enjoy. We have an espresso base, which is slightly shorter than the espresso course. 20.5 grams in and 40 grams out. Because I want to push even more acidity to come through the milk. Please enjoy. As for the milk that I'm using today, my friend Miki and Taka brought it from Japan. This milk has a sweetness that complements the flavor very well. Thank you. But also, it has a transparency and slightly heavier texture, which the passion fruit flavor comes through and supporting it with a great creamy mouthfeel. And I think you will love it. Thank you.
Round of applause for Kapo's milk course.
And also one of the things that I really impressed is that his presentation is changing every route, every round. From fast round, semi-final, and final now, his presentation is not the same. He's changing, he's adjusting his routine according to the circumstances and also according to the coffee he uses, the flavor descriptors. So many things are changing. But he's doing amazing work.
Yeah, that shows a really level of mastery over what he's doing. He's trying to make it better every time and really shift it.
And also the ingredients that he's using for the signature drink is very interesting. It's something that I haven't seen in a competitor that are taken to this stage of the competition, to the finals.
Yeah, definitely. I think this is more like a cocktail making.
Cocktail making, yes.
Yes, I'm a fan.
For your signature drink, I want to do a few things. I want to highlight the floral aroma, the complex citrus and tropical fruit acidity, the silky body, the sweetness of this coffee. And to highlight the complex acidity, which coming from the high elevation and microclimate of this farm, I have 10 grams of Silip Spice. Now, Silip Spice is a non-alcoholic gin distilled from cardamom, allspice, lemon, and grapefruit rind. The citric character of this gin is crisp and clean, as it is clean, it's going to complement those citrus and tropical fruit acidity of this coffee. The herbaceous notes will also affect the aroma. And to represent the sweetness of this coffee, which coming from the processing, I have this non-alcoholic whiskey barrel-aged honey, in which I'm using 20 grams. Now this honey has a sweetness that is grape-like and winey, which is going to complement the similar quality of fruit flavors of this coffee. And to represent the silky texture, which coming from the perfect flow rate during the extraction, I have this 7-gum solution, which I'm using 1:10 ratio of 7 gum to water. This 7 gum is a flavorless thickening agent, which when added to drink, is going to bring back those similar texture of the cup of the espresso that you just had. And of course, with the 4 shots of espresso, which I have chilled down a little bit earlier. That's the same recipe as your espresso course. With that, I'm going to stir it to chill it down while also adding even more flavor clarity to the drink. With that, I'm going to strain it into this whiskey bottle, which we are going to use it a little bit later on. And then, to represent the floral aroma, which coming from this coffee being a Geisha 1931 variety, I have this French Earl Grey oolong tea. I'm using 1:10 ratio, 90 degrees hot water, and sip it for 2 minutes. Now this tea has a lilac-like floral qualities, which is comparable to that coffee flower, white flower-like aroma from this coffee. From that, I'm adding onto dry ice to create that French Earl Grey tea aroma, in which I'm going to inject it into this whiskey bottle for 3 seconds. With that, I'm going to shake it upside down for another 3 seconds to infuse that aroma into the drink. And that lilac aroma is going to complement with the herbaceous flavor from this Silip to change into a purple red flower-like aroma, which reminds me of a geranium. Followed by that, from the first sip, I would like you to look for that aroma and also the presence of the espresso. Before you take your second and third sip, I would like you to make it a small swirl to further dilute the drink, and you are going to get a range of lovely citrus flavor, ranging from bitter orange, please enjoy, grapefruit, orange blossom, honey, and tangerine. Thank you very much for your time today. I hope you enjoy the coffee as much as I do. But most importantly, these simple things that I enjoy sharing with you. And that's what I work in the cafe every day. Thank you. That's my time.